just positive things.
With the tone of this letter that we got, well,
You can do it, Dick. We expect you to do it.
good morning.
I said, if she works, we expect you to do it.
It's rough. I've had so freaking much pain, it's awful. But maybe.
Hang in there.
So we're gonna say some comments today.
We do?
You sort of all else look
I
like
gotta read that paragraph.
that did not finish out.
Can Stephanie shorten that up for me next time?
We don't have a quorum yet, do we? We're missing a quorum yet.
Wanda's supposed to be coming.
Decision making.
Jeff's in Florida, dealing with an aunt.
What's it? Jeff's in Florida.
This came in before.
And it's Hummer. That's Hummer had to be.
I told her yesterday just to make sure.
Yes, they're proposing to put $15 million in escrow. And Verizon will run to accept $15 million settlement, which I'm not.
Oh. I remember where Cal and
Oh, we don't have.
Clay both at the hearing we had with him.
Clay was not Cal, was
They
he?
want to do it up, I think,
It's a city.
city.
Yeah, one should be
Park.
here.
I said,
But Jim's not here, Wynn's not here,
Oh.
Fanny's not feeling good.
The issue with it is, really truly, who's gonna maintain it? That's $1 million, $700,000 a year,
And there she is.
at least.
There she comes.
They can get the smaller pool and all of that stuff.
Making me sweat it, Wanda.
Go build a pool and he'll take care of it from then on.
good morning, Wanda.
Good morning.
Good, how are you?
How are you? Good, good. So, well, it doesn't surprise me about Will's talking.
This is the one that they paid for us. Who paid for this?
That's basically Joseph.
Going back to the original.
That will be the, yes,
Based on what,
the study.
Based on the
Yes,
study. Morning, everybody. I'd like to call the regular scheduled February 18th, 2026 Spalding County Water Authority meeting to order. Our invocation will be led by member Cal Oxford, followed by the pledge of flag by Miss Wanda Howell.
Our Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to be together. We thank you for this board. We thank you for the directions that you give us. Please give us the wisdom to know what to do is correct. Give us the courage to do so. We ask that you guide us in our decision making and guide us in the way that we direct this community. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Thank you, everybody. Next item on the agenda is citizen comments. Speakers must sign up prior to the meeting and provide their name, address, and the topic they wish to discuss. Speakers must direct their remarks to the authority and not to individual members or the audience. Personal disagreements with individual members or authority employees are not a matter of public concern, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. The chairman has the right to limit your comments in the interest of disposing of the authority's business in an efficient and respectable manner. Speakers will be allotted 3 minutes to speak on their chosen topics as they relate to matters pertinent to the jurisdiction of the authority. No questions will be asked of any members during citizen comments. Outbursts from the audience will not be tolerated. Common courtesy and civility are expected at all times during the meeting. No speaker will be permitted to speak more than 3 minutes or more than once unless the authority votes to suspend this rule. And our first speaker is Miss Ann Tarpley. That's what happens, you get here early and sign up first.
Good morning, Board. I'm Mayor Ann Tarpley with the City of Hampton. Thank you guys for allowing us to speak on today.
We need your name and address.
I'm sorry, my name is Ann Tarpley. I live at 200 Revolutionary Drive, Hampton, Georgia. I am with the City of Hampton, Georgia. Thank you. I am here today with my staff along with our engineering firm. You have an item on the agenda that I just wanted to speak with you about and bring to your attention in regards to the ask of our city. So we have been on this journey now for a couple of years, and of course we started with our own authority to try to secure the water. We later moved to the Griffin, who is a regional provider of water, and now we are standing before you guys to get delivery of that water. So this morning our access is about 275,000 gallons of water per day out of your Sunnyside tank that you will be considering on our behalf. The goal for our city is to activate our entire west side. And we believe that this will be a benefit to the city of Griffin, who will be providing the water, as well as Spalding County, as it will be able to activate its entire north side of this county if it chooses to do that in regards to growth in the future. And we're asking that you guys would consider it. I know that there are some things some questions that may be had, and we do have people here, if you have any questions, that is able to answer those questions so that we can see if we could get to the 275 gallons of water a day. So I thank you guys so very much for considering this collaboration between a county and a city, along with the city of Griffin. We thank you so very much for hearing from us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Mr. Scott Green. Name and address, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cannon. My name's Scott Green. I work with Thompson Nutton Engineering Company, address 553 Peachtree Road, Atlanta, Georgia. I just wanted to introduce myself to the members of the board that were not at the planning committee meeting we had 2 weeks ago. We have been working closely with Mayor Tarpley, Falcon Design as the city's engineer, as well as Garver, who is the engineering firm that has conducted the study for the Water Authority, working closely with Mr. Johnson and also the city of Griffin. So I know there are some questions on the ability to serve that flow. I just wanted to tell you from my standpoint, I work for a customer one of the customers that would be getting the water from the city of Hampton, on behalf of myself and that customer, we are willing to work with the Water Authority, with Garver, to figure out how to come to a yes on this. If there are any bottlenecks that are in the system that we need to address to help maintain that existing water delivery level of service that you guys expect, we're willing to do that. I just want to be here to kind of publicly announce that to you guys and say that we want to be a partner here, work in collaboration with all these entities to make sure this project can happen. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
That's everybody who had signed up. So next item is minutes. Consider approval of the January 21st, 2026 regular scheduled meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman, if there are no additions or corrections, I move they be approved as presented.
We got a motion to approve. Do I have a second? I have a second. Mr. Davis. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Unanimous. Next item, consider acceptance of the following committee meeting minutes: February 4th, 2026 Planning Committee, February 11th, 2026 Finance Committee.
Chairman, I move we accept these committee meeting minutes.
Motion by Mr. Morrow. Do I have a second? I have 2 seconds. Ms. Davis, Ms. Howell. All in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. We don't write fast enough. Consider acceptance of the general manager's request as presented by General Manager Johnson. I'm sorry, general manager report as presented by General Manager Johnson.
So fiscal year to date, water sale summaries shows that our actual versus budget is short roughly 7 million gallons. Other than that, everything seems to be on par. Looking at customers, our customer account has increased about 1.5%. Our meters are down roughly 13 meters total fiscal year to date. And moving on to projects, the major projects I want, the status update is the sewer project. So one issue that had came up over the last week or so was the dewatering activities that were happening on the lift station site. Come to find out, the contractor took it into their own hands and started laying pipe across a private property. And we have been working with the property owner to see if we can't rectify the situation. I think we're gonna come to an agreement. And ultimately Lakeshore will be responsible for any remediations. Other than that, the bore under Cabin Creek was causing a little problems. They hit a lot of rock. As of last week, they were able to finally get the bore rig in and started pushing around 20 feet of casing in. So we thought they were gonna have to drop it down to a smaller casing size, but we're actually gonna end up getting the full, I believe it's a 30-inch casing. So that's good.
How much is this gonna cost us?
We had a placeholder of, I think, $500,000 in rock. I don't believe
For the
we're.
total project?
Yes, sir. As of right now, we're not over budget.
We anticipated we set aside money in case we did hit rock in the existing budget. It doesn't sound like we've hit as much rock as we anticipated for, so.
No, there was about 5 foot in the lift station site itself. The bottom 5 foot that they had to blast. The rock in the creek, and we won't, based on preliminary studies on the line A gravity line alignment, it doesn't appear that we're gonna hit too much there. So we won't truly know until they start laying it, but they should be moving into line A pipeline work within the next 2 weeks. Based on their schedule, they should have been mobilized on it already. But all the easement has been fully cleared, so pipeline work should go pretty quickly. Moving on to the lead and copper rule compliance, we have had a 70% reduction in the total unknown locations. We still anticipate having all those locations known by the end of this calendar year, so we won't have any more letters going out to our customers. Regarding the water system feasibility update, we will be reaching out to various partners surrounding us, asking for capital improvement projects that they may have or may be undertaken in the future regarding additional permits, withdrawals that we can partner on, reservoirs, so on and so forth. So I'm hoping to get these meetings scheduled in the next month. But that concludes my project updates. Any questions?
Chairman, I move we accept the general manager report.
Got a motion to accept. I got a second by Mr. Davis. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed, unanimous. Next item, special committee report, planning committee report as presented by Mr. Chairperson Dick Morrow.
Well, good morning and thank you. It's interesting, it's almost like a redo here at the moment. During our planning meeting, last one, we started off with this discussion of the water service requirements, needs of Hampton, and Mayor Tarpley was here, led the charge, and we allowed everyone in the room who wanted to speak. We had engineers, we had the city water developer or director speak, Henry County Water. Everybody had a say in it, so I hope everybody had an opportunity to say what they wanted to. We tried to be open and above, and it was one of our more interesting planning committee meetings, and it did point to some issues, as the mayor just mentioned, which are being under the microscope at the moment, if you will. So it was a good meeting, and we all, I think, understood what the players in the room all thought. So that was a good, I thought. The second part of that was the my mind just went blank here.
Open Gov,
The what?
Open Gov.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Remember Parker talked.
Yes, one of our staff members actually spoke, and we were excited. it's OpenGov software that helps manage our operations, and we listened to a nice report from that, and unanimously agreed that we need to press ahead with the software to streamline and work with our operations. Thank you, Parker. You did an awesome job.
You did. It was a great report, a great presentation.
That's my report, sir.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Finance Committee report as presented by Vice Chairperson Cal Oxford.
And we met, and the subject of discussion was the open government work order presentation by Parker. Once again, thank you, Parker. After due consideration, the Finance Committee recommends that the board proceed with the purchase of the open government work system at 100% recovery, which means we will be enacting some additional new fees. But our recommendation is that we proceed with the purchase of this fiscal year, not to exceed $40,000. Next fiscal year will be fully budgeted by the general manager. That's our recommendation.
All right. All right, we appreciate there were two reports from the committees. Moving on to new business. Consider approval of the developer easement acquisition assistance application. Joseph, take it away.
So this application, assistance application has been developed in order to provide a roadblock, kind of, if I could, for all intents and purposes, for developers, rather than them throwing in the towel and just asking the water authority for easement acquisition. This just shows that a developer, before they come ask the board's assistance, or request our assistance, they actually do some of their legwork themselves, where we're asking for a full package of dates and times that they've talked to private homeowners, any appraisals, any fair offer letters sent. So that it's a good business process. Because currently, as you know, we have 2 MOUs right now with private developers to obtain easements, and it appears that developers are starting to think that the water authority is in the easement acquisition business, and we're not.
I consider this more of a road map than a roadblock.
So I'm hoping to throw a couple hurdles up. We don't have staff to go after easement acquisition.
You have to get through the gate.
That's right.
Any further discussion on it?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the developer easement acquisition assistance application that's presented.
I have a motion to approve by Mr. Morrow. Do I have a second? I have a second by Mr. Davis. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. There's, yeah, we'll do that 5. Consider approval to purchase the OpenGov work order system using the 100% cost recovery option, adopting the presented pricing structure not to exceed $40,000 in fiscal year 26, with additional cost to be budgeted in fiscal year 27.
Mr. Chairman, I defer to the chairman.
I would move that we accept the proposal.
So we're making a motion to approve the purchase of OpenGov work system using the 100% cost recovery option, adopting the pricing structure not to exceed $40,000 in fiscal year 26, with additional cost to be budgeted for in fiscal year 27. Is that your motion?
What you said.
Yes.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion? Please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously, 5-0. Congratulations, Parker.
Well done.
We'll leave everybody on the edge of their seat for a second. All right, consider approval of the City of Hampton's water supply request for 275,000 gallons per day needed on September 1st, 2026, as presented by the City of Hampton, and Thomas and Hutton during the February 4th, 2026 Planning Committee meeting. Prior to completion of Phase 2B, installation of approximately 12,500 linear feet of 30-inch ductile iron pipe extending from the Harry Simmons Water Treatment Plant to the City of Griffin city limits, as depicted by the dark blue line shown on the exhibit as provided by Thomas and Hutton. Do you want to walk us through this one more time, Joseph, and we'll get into the specifics of the reports?
Yeah, so at the request of the City of Hampton and the City of Griffin, Garver was engaged to perform some modeling. The modeling results reflected some system improvements that needed to occur in order to satisfy the 750,000 gallon a day demand, a 3 million gallon a day demand, and an ultimate 5 million gallon a day demand. So, everybody has the technical memorandum that Garver presented that showed a combination of a 30-inch main and a 24-inch main with, I believe it was a 20-inch main coming out of the Sunnyside tank. So, in short, those were the model runs that were requested by the City of Hampton. So, Thompson Hutton came and presented, and what you're looking at here is the exhibit that they presented. So, they're wanting to connect to our Sunnyside tank. Basically, in the interim, before they complete the Phase 2B improvements.
This is the dark blue line.
The dark blue line. So that is the reference that was made in the motion. Based on the report, the study that Garver did, if 275,000 gallons a day is taken before the dark blue line is complete, it would trigger one of our minimum criteria, which is the minimum volume in the Sunnyside tank. So,
Is that minimum volume, so it's gonna drop us below the 180,000 gallons or 25% of the tank volume?
plus 25, yes, so the grade line is around 1080. Yes, so that would do
the
that.
request violates our minimum storage
That's correct.
as presented.
But I will say that if all these improvements were completed, so the dark blue would get them, the dark blue and the red gets them 750,000 gallons a day. The red, the dark blue, and the cyan gets them 5 million gallons a day. So that, the system improvements that they're showing on here are in line with the Garver study that was performed by our engineer of record.
What is the, and I guess I maybe need to ask these Hampton folks, but what is the ask here? What is the city's agreement? Is it to supply 275,000 gallons a day, or is it to supply 5 million gallons a day?
Well, if we look at the information that they submitted, the detailed email, they're saying that the Phase 1, or the Phase 2A requirements is they're gonna, City of Hampton is gonna deliver 100,000 gallons a day, and then the remaining 275 to get to their 375,000 gallon a day requirement. They're getting the remaining from us.
But what is the ultimate, what is the ultimate ask? Is it 275 a day period, or is it 5 million?
No, so it's 275 by September 1st. Then Phase 2B,
It's staged out over a period of time.
yes,
Up to how many gallons a day?
5 million.
Up to 5 million a day.
Yes, sir,
5 million per day.
per day. And that is a contractual obligation between Hampton and the City of Griffith. All we are is just the conduit.
That's my question. Can I ask the mayor a question? This 275,000 gallons a day initial ask, what is that for?
So, there's a deadline that is for September the first initial phase of the project, one of the projects that's being done on the west side currently. That project will need to, come online, in December of 2026. And so that building is, we're trying to get water to that particular building.
Long and short, that's a data center, as I understand, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're asking for 275 gallons a day for a data center?
Yes, sir.
In Henry County? Okay. And then ultimately, the 5 million gallons a day will be for additional development?
Yes, sir. So if we're trying to activate our entire west side of our city. We went from 4 square miles to 10 square miles, almost to the Spalding County line, actually. And so we're trying to make sure that we have enough supply to be able to totally develop that area out. It has been scheduled for housing, retail, things of that nature.
Simple question, why wouldn't you get this from the Henry County Water Authority?
So we did approach, so I am a firm believer that charity starts at home and then it spreads abroad. So we went to the Henry County Water Authority first, and they could not commit to up that 3 million gallon mark for the entire west side. And they just said that they were not able to provide that to us, that the most that they could give us was at 1.5 million gallons, but they did not want it to come to the city of Hampton. They wanted to sell directly to the customer. And the whole goal for us is to activate our entire website.
You
So you come to-
you wanted them as the customer.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We definitely want to have our, so we purchase water from our Henry County partner. The city of Hampton does currently. That's how our, we've done it from the beginning. We purchase water from them and then we resell it to our customers. And that is how the relationship has been. All of a sudden, they wanted to change it now that we had a higher end user for
So
water.
you want us to supply you water that you can resell?
So I want Griffin to, because it is a regional provider of water, that is the reason we sought out Griffin to actually provide us with water. We understood that they had the capacity to be able to do it and that they had a, intergovernmental agreement with Spalding County. So that's the reason we sought out Griffin to provide us with the water. And we're neighboring cities.
Thank you.
Council, now you can see why we had a very interesting planning committee meeting.
It was a very long meeting, probably the longest, maybe even the longest water authority meeting we ever had.
Yeah, I saw it adjourned at 11:12 or something like that.
I think Brandon wants to say something.
Yes, I thank you.
Joseph, you got anything else to add?
I do not.
Okay.
Brandon, did you want to say something?
Mr. Oxford, Scott Green with Thomas Nutton. If you do have any more questions on the phasing, I can go to the board and talk to you about the phasing of the project if you need.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple. Somebody's gonna pay for running a line from Harry Simmons to Henry County line,
Yes.
going through Wanda's front yard. I assume. She owns the automobile dealership where this pipeline is going. And the ask is that, and I assume that pipeline would be ours in the county.
It would be our asset, yes.
Yeah, and the ask is for us to allow the water to flow through our facility, potentially at the detriment of our firefighting system. Is that correct, Rocky?
Based off the modeling, the 275,000 gallons a day, which is the red line, correct?
The red line, yes.
Which is the red line, which is the first phase of this project. So once that red line's put in, without any other improvements, at 275,000 gallons a day, that is gonna violate the minimum available storage volume criteria for our water system. And that criteria is in place for firefighting protection.
Let's look down the
It's not a
road.
pressure issue,
Right.
it's a volume issue.
Right, let's look down the road. What does 5 million gallons a day do for us, Joe?
Based off the modeling, once the line is complete, there's no impact to us. And we have a large asset now that, we didn't have to pay for.
But
But
the
the
immediate impact is that with the blue line, we fall below the minimum.
With the red line, we
With the
fall
red
below.
line.
With the way it is currently presented, by just doing the red line part of this project, it does impact our ability of providing fire protection.
It doesn't fix the minimum.
It does not fix the minimum. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Joseph, because I was sat in on these meetings too, the red line and the dark blue line would need to be completed at the same time. If that was to happen, we could deliver up to 750,000 gallons a day.
Yes, sir.
150, not 2.
700.
750.
And so we don't lose the fire protection. Now, and during the presentation at the planning, I raised the question if it was possible we could put a shut-off valve at the red line in the event of a fire. We could cut that flow off because they do, are going to have at some point on-site storage, 24 to 48 hours, if I remember correctly. So if they had on-site storage where they could serve their facility while we had to shut the flow off to fight the fire temporarily, this is all temporary until the thing's complete. That's a possible solution, but that has not been fully vetted yet. So what the request is today is based off what is currently presented, this currently presented project. And if we would allow this to go forward, today, as presented, we are gonna compromise Spalding County Board of Commissioners' ability to fight fires.
Steve, you got your hard hat on?
We have a memo here from our chief fire chief to the county manager to that effect. Do you wish to say anything about it?
Thank you, Mr. Morrow. I appreciate the opportunity to speak in front of the Spalding County Water Authority, and you're exactly correct. As was described by Chairman Cannon and General Manager Johnson, the way that this system is currently designed with just the red line would negatively impact our ability to fight fires for Spalding County on the north end. And Rocky's here with us, our fire marshal, and he and I have had conversations about this because he provided the information to Chief Byrd in response to the letter that you saw, which actually indicates that there is a negative implication for only supplying that red line. Once the cyan and the dark blue line come into play, no issues. But as it is presented today, the red line does create some challenges for our ability to fight fire. Thank you, sir.
You know, I think puts many of us in sort of, I'm sorry, you got somebody else with you?
Look, go ahead, say what you want to say.
Oh, I was gonna say-
We'll get him to come up and.
I think I speak for most of this board. We're very sensitive to the request for the water and the development. We understand that. We work for the same ends here in our community. However, based on what I've been presented from the fire department, the manager, and through the engineering firm, we just cannot approve it at this time because of the detriment to our firefighting capability. So there needs to be some fix presented that can be done soon to remedy that, or I can't vote for it. I don't think any of us can, in violation of our fire protection.
The flip side of that same coin, Mr. Morrow, is that once the system is completely designed and constructed, it does open up opportunities for us on the north end for development. So we're not in opposition of the work that's going on. What we are in opposition to is the current design as it stands today because of the impact it has for fire protection.
I agree. On a personal basis, I'm for success here because it does improve our system in the north end. But as it stands now, we can't move forward until there's some fast engineering answer to the solution to this. That's the way I feel.
Let's hear from Thomas and Hutton real quick. Let's give him a chance to speak his
Okay.
piece, but we are,
What you
Thank you,
got?
Mr. Cannon. Again, Scott Green, Thompson Hutton. I will speak on behalf of the city of Hampton here and my client. We do not want to be a detriment to Spalding County's water system and the fire system. We understand the importance of that, and that is not our goal. Our goal is to build infrastructure to support Spalding County in their growth, as the chief spoke of. But in this interim red condition, I'm an engineer. We're in a design process right now. This is an iterative process. We're going to work extremely closely with Mr. Johnson and the Spalding County staff. We're going to work extremely closely with the fire chief and his department to ensure the design we're proposing in the phases does not negatively provide a detriment to the county. We've got the red line and we've got the dark blue line, okay? The red line is a proposal to allow the city of Hampton to have 275,000 gallons. Just from speaking with Mr. Johnson, we understand that the red line alone is not the answer to provide that. I do believe, and I believe Mr. Johnson would believe, after we work together, we're going to work with the county's modeler Garver. We're going to work together with the county and the Garver. I do believe there's an interim solution in between that red and that blue that'll get us to 275. We've just got to identify what that is. Mr. Johnson was out of the office earlier this week or last week. We spoke with Garver after Mr.
he gets a
Johnson.
lot of vacations for some reason.
Yes, sir. I love me a vacation. So hadn't had to have that intimate dialogue yet, but we have spoken with Garver. Mr. Johnson gave us Garver's contact information, and we are committed to work with Mr. Johnson and Garver to come up with that solution that will give you, the board, the comfort to know that you are going to have your firefighting ability in this interim stage. Let's talk about the timeline of this interim stage. So on the board here, I put on the dates of when the water is needed. In this last 2 weeks, we have been meeting with contractors qualified to physically build this type of work. So on the board, the red line I have is a September 1 need for that water. On the dark blue line, I have a March 1 need, so that's a 6-month span in between the two phases. Physically, we're designing both at the same time, and we're going to submit both as soon as we can. The red line is probably going to be first by a matter of a couple of weeks or a month, probably, because it's a shorter time span. But I don't believe the physical time period is going to be 6 months. I feel like it'll be much shorter than that, and we're going to work on our side with the contractors to make sure that gap between the red and blue is as short as possible. But there is going to be a gap in time. So to fill that gap in time, that's what I'm saying. We're committed to working with Mr. Johnson and the fire department and the county engineer to make sure in that gap period, you guys are fulfilled on your fire requirements. As a couple of recommendations, I know Mr. Cannon mentioned some type of valving. That is a recommendation we will consider strongly with Mr. Johnson and team. We've also got on-site water storage. These facilities, my client's facilities, need to have backup in the event of water service, maybe such as a fire limits water service. So they have storage on site for 48 hours to be able to serve their facilities in the event that the county had to fight a fire and to give the time for the tanks to refill after the fire. We've got some on-site measures we're taking in place, but I know there's some measures we can take within this map here that we'll identify with Mr. Johnson very quickly to give you guys the ease that.
Well, to clarify, we have to decide on how it's presented today.
Mhm.
We're not given some sort of indication of whether we approve of the project or we're trying to say no to something. We have to decide on what is presented today. That's what we gotta do. And as it is presented today, I intend on making a motion not to approve it based off our firefighting capacity. Now, if more than welcome to work with Joseph Johnson in the meantime, board and happy to come to the next meeting. I'm sure we can get it resolved. But that is my motion. Obviously, the board has not voted on it yet, but we have, based off the presentation today and what the water modeling shows, I do not see how the Spalding County Water Authority can consent to this, knowing it's gonna impact Spalding County's firefighting ability. Do I think there's a solution to it? Yeah, I do. Do I know that you can put a valve out there and actuate it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? I know it for a fact. But in this case, as it's presented, I don't see where we can approve this.
I totally agree with our chairman that today it's a no-go. But we know we're caught between the city of Griffin wanting to sell water and the city of Hampton wanting water.
It's a
We're
benefit
just
to us
trying
in the
to,
long run.
we're just trying to get to that point where it gets through. So
It is a benefit to us in the long run,
it is. So
but we can't hinder Spalding County ability to fight fire. We can't do
Right,
that.
that's an engineering solution, and we're gonna figure that out.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that you have this goal to quickly get us a solution and have it change the whole dynamics.
Yes, sir.
At this time.
Don't feel any pressure.
No, every day. Well, thank y'all so much again for letting us speak to you guys, and we're committed to be partners with you guys, partners with the city of Hampton, city of Griffin, on coming up to a solution on this. Thanks so much.
We do too.
Anything else, Scott?
At this time, I'd like to make a motion.
Do we table it or just,
Well, we're here to decide as it's presented today.
okay,
That, I don't see where we can really deviate from that.
all right.
Based on the established criteria and system performance, my motion is based on the established criteria and system performance, we do not recommend approving Hampton to draw 275 gallons per day from the combined Spalding County Water Authority City of Griffin distribution system with no additional distribution improvements or no modifications to the currently presented construction schedule.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'd just like to say that I'm not opposed to the project in its entirety. You folks in Hampton,
Me neither.
seems to me we're putting the cart before the horse. I would think, we'd want this project completed before we start doling out water, but, I think if you can come to a solution with our engineers and our staff that I can support, I'll be happy to, but as it's presented today, I cannot.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries. Next item of business, other business. The next regular scheduled meeting will be held Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, at 8:30 a.m. in the Courthouse Annex Meeting Room. Secretary Treasurer comments?
None.
General Manager comments?
None.
Authority member comments? Cal?
None.
Clay?
USA, USA.
That's it, sir. Ms. Wanda? Dick?
No, but best of luck, Scott, working this out. No other comments.
Being the hill in this situation, we do want to work with y'all, but we also need y'all to get with our engineer and see if we can't get this firefighting capacity thing sorted out. And I think we can do that in short order. I really do.
I would actually appreciate, Hampton and the city of Griffin involving us with the discussion.
I think we probably should have been involved a little sooner.
Yeah.
But that's neither here or there now. I think we could have avoided a lot of this. But anyways, Joseph, I'll ask Joseph to make himself available to help y'all resolve this as quickly as possible. And hopefully we can get it resolved by our next meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. I have a second. All in favor? Everybody get up and leave. We are adjourned.
Oh, I think that was
That was